Well, ho, ho, ho. Oh, no, I didn't call you a hoe. But anyhow, you all got stocking in your stockings this time because it's just us. It's Will.
It's Thomas.
And we're back at the virtual spinner rack for our Christmas special on OK Boomer. Who would have thunk it?
I'm telling you, it's been a whole year, ain't it?
Mm-hmm. Just about, yeah. It is crazy. So you picked a couple of stories last week for
Christmas special. This is actually it's like a giant size. It's like 53 pages, I think it was. I saw. Mm-hmm. We're only doing the Batman story in this one. This is DC's DC Superstar Special. I think it is number 21.
Yep.
And of course, like you see, there's 5 stories in it. All of them are Christmas themed. There's even like a Christmas intro and whatever. But we're just doing the absolute classic Santa Claus Wanted Dead or Alive by Frank Miller, which is his first work for, as we were saying, DC, and his first work on Batman, period. Before Dark Knight, before Year One, before all the trash that come afterwards.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Pat. Yes, we I'm sure Thomas has big plans for the 25th. Eating food, sleeping on the couch, and not going to work.
Yes.
I have big plans of hanging out by myself with all these boxes around me and eating and sleeping in my recliner. And I might actually get around to reading a couple of comics that are piling up.
Yeah.
You never know.
They do pile up fast.
Don't they?
Yes.
I got a stack like this high. And it surprises me because there's like some Batman stuff in there, but I just haven't read it.
Yeah, I've got I actually got the other day I got new books in, and I've got a handful of Batman things in there to read. The only thing I'm currently up to date on is Hulk, Thor, and Daredevil, which actually I did read the latest Superman book. I think Brian Michael Bendis is trying to kill him, but hey.
That's okay because once this post-future apocalyptic BS that DC is pulling is over with, Bendis is off in March, either March or April. Bendis is off of Action Comics, and it's got a whole new creative team. Yeah, there were a ton of announcements for DC stuff, and I know that in Flash, as soon as the fake timeline is done with, they're starting a story they probably should have done like a year and a half ago with Wally West. But it's all good.
Yeah, we got time.
Yeah, before we get into all this, as always, we want to give a big shout out to our sponsor, SpinWiz Comics. At spinwizcomics.com, it is a web and indie comic discovery platform. Completely free to download and use. You can get it both on iOS and Android. There's plenty of books on there, and one book I want to mention in particular that's on there is Capable. It is the superhero comic book series written by Jonathan Hendricks, who is the writer and creator of the Recount for Scout Comics. And it's the first 2 issues of that series you can read completely free. And issue 3 is coming to Kickstarter very soon. So I'm sure I will have him on Creators Outlet for that. And here's just a quick peek of what it could look like on your smart device. The SpinWiz, not Kickstarter. Kickstarter, you're on your own. And now on with the program. So we're going to start tonight with taking a look at Frank Miller's very first work on anything at DC, and it just happens to be a really cool Batman story.
Yeah, it's very good. I mean, and the thing is you've got Miller's on art and Denny O'Neil's the writer here. So I mean, this is all classic stuff.
And you can see he's starting his opening page, and his art on this opening page, even though it's Miller, and as it goes along, as he went along in his process, he made the art more and more his own. But, for the time that, this came out back in 1980, who were the two biggest names associated with art on Batman was
Adams and Aparo.
Yeah, Jim Aparo and Neil Adams. So, and you can see those influences right here, just like on his opening page. That's very Neil Adam-esque.
Oh, yeah, it is, with the flowing cape and all that. I mean, the only other person that comes close to those two at this time would be Infanto, but I mean, a lot of people would remember Infanto because he's a little bit before Adams. But I mean, this is very realistic. You've got the whole, the flying, cape and everything.
And obviously, it's a great look because it works.
Oh yeah. Well, and the other thing that's funny is me and my brother's a huge Batman fan. I mean, honestly, everybody is. If they're not, they're lying to you. The thing is, we talk about the gray and the blue. It looks so good. I mean, the modern solid black suit is nice, but the gray and the blue is just there's something about it, man.
Yeah, I'm over the black suit. I'm like, come on, take a hint from Spider-Man. That crap only lasts so long, and then we're all sick of it. We want the classic look back.
Well, I mean, and even if they didn't want to go the gray and the blue, they could do the gray and the black, which he wore for a while too, which looked nice. But the solid, just completely black suit just kind of gets a little old.
It's just boring. You're playing like Where's Waldo with Batman every month. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, and it's not, the only character that can really pull off a solid one color suit is Daredevil, and it's red.
Yeah. And going off track a little bit, Daredevil 25 that came out this month. If I had actually, if I was, not in a wheelchair and I could have walked into a comic shop and I could have found one of those issue 25s on the rack, I would have grabbed it, come home, and put it right up for sale.
I've got a first print coming, and I got a second print coming now.
When you get your second print, you might want to just keep that one and just flip the first print.
Really?
They're like fetching like ridiculous money, and the one in 25 is of course what is so stupid. It's like, but it's graded. It's the same book. But if you get it graded, all of a sudden, kind of like the Teen Titans 12. I've got a minty fresh issue of that, which is the first appearance of Batman Who Laughs, and my copy's raw. So I'd be lucky to get like around 150, like 140, 145 for it.
Yeah.
But if I get it graded copies are going close to 1,000. So I take the book and put it in a plastic shell and sell it to you that costs me 3 months of my life and $45, you're going to give me like an extra like $700. Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
Morons. It's like every time I talk about that in the back of my head, all I can see is Jeff Dunham's puppet Walter going, dumbass.
Yeah. But people
so let's get on with this. And Pat is joining us tonight from the chat because Pat was in my weird, wonderful unboxing this afternoon because I'm just going through boxes and looking at stuff, and it was pretty cool.
I was not able to put, my camera is messed up. I don't have any way to transfer the videos from my camera to my computer for an unboxing video. So you have to do them kind of with our webcam. But I did bring my my figure that I finally did manage to unbox last night on my day off and put together.
Oh, Alita?
Yeah, my wife says it's my Barbie doll. I keep telling her to tell her it's not. It's an action figure.
It's an action figure. Leave them alone.
See, they just don't. They don't get it, do they?
I get it.
See,
Pat, it takes unless you pay them extra money for rush processing. It takes
it's like 3 months.
Yeah, it's like 3 months if you're lucky. You know, every time you all have like a hurricane or tornado hit you down south, you can add like another 3 to 6 months on top of that because all the grading companies are between Florida and Texas.
And the thing that's terrible about it is if you're looking at having anything graded, you really want to go CGC because they're the premier grading company. If you do, CBS and CBCS, and then there's another one now like Jim something, isn't it? There's 2 more, but both of those are considered like the the stepchildren of grading companies. You won't get as much because people will literally tell you, oh, it's a 9.9 from a CBCS versus, it would never have gotten that high at CGC.
See what it is people that have been grading crap since they were first able to are, pardon my French, fucking snobs. Because there was another grading company out there, and yeah, this guy was horrible, and he was going his company, I can't remember what the name of it is right now, but they were going bankrupt. So he was like grading everything he could, and he was given stuff that looked like it got run over by a truck in a mud pit, like a 9.0 grade. It was ridiculous. CBCS is legit, and CGC hates CBCS because CBCS was the one that originally started the signature verification. The only way you could get SIG verification from CGC is if you were at a convention and you paid them to have one of their official people, translation, an intern that makes no money, go over and just witness the signature, and they would stand at the whoever's table and watch them sign the books, and you have to go through like this whole rigmarole. It was just crazy. But for like a few extra bucks, CBCS will actually verify signatures with signatures of those people on file.
Yeah, they'll compare them and then say, hey, this is legit.
Yeah. And I like CBCS better because they come across faster, they're easier to work with, and when CGC gets slammed with an overabundance of books, you could be waiting 6 to 9 months for a book to come back from CGC, where you wait like 3 to 5 months from CBCS when they get busy. And the problem is all these fake comic book companies, like the convention dealers that make themselves a name and then get all their capital together and stop paying, the Clayton Cranes and, other hot cover artists. Well, I don't want to actually have to draw the book. I'm too good for that. They pay the company and they pay them a boatload of money, and then they make like the return on the markup they make on those exclusive books is akin to the markup stores make on selling furniture.
Well, and the thing that, and I try not to get too heavy on the graded books myself, because I understand the whole idea. You buy a graded book, you're guaranteed that grade, from a reputable company. Mm-hmm. And then, you get that assurance that this is what it is. But the thing is kind of like the Daredevil 25. I'm sure how many are going to be graded already before they come out? I had a chance to buy an alternate cover, which will ship next month, and I'll have it on the show. I'll show it to you. And it was, I bought the alternative cover, the regular cover, and shipping, and it was all like $40. Okay. They had a 9.8 supposedly CGC guaranteed alternative cover for $100, the same book. The damn thing hadn't even dropped yet. They're going to get it in the show, in the store, send it off, get it slabbed. They'll have enough slab that they get a 9.8 back, and then I'm going to pay $100 for it. Or I can probably get a 9.8 by just buying one and having it shipped to the damn house, and I save $60 plus shipping and handling.
Well, the whole reason behind graded books is to flip them. You have two graders. You have people like my friend Chris, who's got a bunch of graded books, but all his graded books are silver and bronze keys.
Yeah.
And, if he doesn't have like a 9.8 on like a silver or bronze first appearance, he'll keep going until he gets one, and he'll trade them off and, trade them off or sell them off. And today, he picked up, where is he? Let me see. I'm sorry, I'm holding stuff, but we're not even on topic here.
It's a Christmas special.
It's a Christmas special, so we're gonna talk off topic a lot today. He got the first appearance. He scooped up first appearance of Man-Thing at his LCS, which, come on, open up.
It's Savage Tales #1.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm just trying to get the image to load. And he scooped that up. It is already graded. It's a CGC, and it's graded 6.0, which isn't bad for one of the old magazines.
No.
But he also, at a small show years ago, he also scored a Marvel Comics #1 graded like a 1.5 for what was it? I think like $800.
Damn.
So
Wolverine #1's a good book, Pat.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one to keep. Somewhere in this mess, I got a few boxes of comics in, Pat. Just a few. That weird shaped white box that's closest to me here that you see on top is actually the Joker marionette that DC released probably about 30 years ago. And the price on the box is almost $400.
Good God.
Well, dude, I was DJing like 6 nights a week and pulling in like $2 to $3 grand. I had lots of money to blow. On the other side of the room is they released a special triple, like a big long narrow box. When Jim Lee was doing Hush.
Oh yeah.
And it was the model, the mock-up, and the finished figure. All 3 of them.
That
one big package. And there's like a plate in there from Jim Lee. Signed everything, I think. I'd have to look at it again. But yeah. that was like, that was like a $300 one.
Oh, cool.
It was locked in a small hotel safe. My dad bought at a casino hotel remodeling sale. Nice. Yeah. I was covering for the owner of my LCS back before I was in the chair. He was, I was, for all intents and purposes, I was one of the assistant managers, and bless you. I was covering one day, and as chance would have it, this somebody in their early 20s came in because they would go and buy comics from the time they got out of school until springtime rolled around, where they would want to sell everything that they bought back to the store in hopes of making a profit.
Yep.
And that never happens.
No, but there's a ton of people that do that.
Yeah. So he came in and he had bought a bunch of stuff off the store, like the complete original Wolverine miniseries. 2 copies of Gambit's first appearance, and a bunch of other X-Men books that were at the time probably $5 to $10 a pop.
Yeah.
So I offered him $60 for everything. He's like, what? I go, okay. That this is a brick and mortar. So there's expenses involved. There's utilities involved. He has to sit on this stuff until
it
sells. So every day it doesn't sell, he's losing money. I go, there's no other stores around here unless you want to head down into southern Rhode Island, or head out to, another hour and a half away into Mass. I ain't got the time. Okay, well, and I go, $60 cash. I'll take it. So I called up. The manager calls and he goes, anything going on? I go, a little bit. I bought some comics. I go, with my money, shut up. I go, and I split them with you. There was some that I wanted to keep, and the rest of yours, I repriced them up and filed them in already. It's just a bunch of X-Men stuff. He goes, oh, what did you keep? I go, I kept some X-Men stuff. He was like, what? I go, a couple of first appearances of Gambit, and the Wolverine miniseries.
Damn it. Terrible.
I go, but you got 30 books worth of back stock for nothing, so.
Freezes.
He's like, yeah, that's fine. But my buddy Mark had actually bought a collection off somebody for a few grand, and he had he came across and opened up a short box, and one short box was filled to the rim with multiple copies of Wolverine 1 through 4.
Damn.
The mini series.
I need
That's a sweet deal, Pat. Hey, let's get on with this.
Yep. All right. So we open it up. Like I said, here's Batman swinging in. We talked about it looking like Neil Adams and such. And he actually is talking about the crime in Gotham City. And he says, look, somebody's even stolen the star off the nativity scene.
Mm-hmm.
Which is pretty terrible. That's a pretty low thing to do, especially at Christmas. Make sure I didn't. Yep, no, we didn't miss a page. So he talks about that, and then immediately it flips to a party like a few blocks away. Mm-hmm. And you can already tell the art's starting to change a little bit here to the Frank Miller standard style. As Batman approaches this mob boss or whatever his name is, Mr. Lasco, who has some hired muscle. Batman's there to talk to him and such. Mm-hmm. And Lasco gets mad at him. Of course, tells him he didn't invite him to the party and then hires his muscle. I do like this line right here where he tells the guys to hit him and Batman beats the hell out of them. And he's like, I hope these aren't hired muscle because they're pitiful.
And then he hits him himself and like nothing.
Yeah, he punches him and can't do anything.
I mean, he should at least flinch because, not for nothing, look at the size of the forearm on that guy.
Yeah. Unless it's, I don't say them, what are the fake muscles or he's got a piece of metal there or something. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he should have flinched or done something. So Lasco gets mad and asks him again and tells him it's why is there a boat parked in Gotham Harbor? And Lasco tells him it's for an old cellmate of his, Boomer Katz. And so once he finds that out,
and that's why we had to do this issue because Boomer is mentioned.
I actually thought of that when I read it. So after that, Batman leaves and heads off to go and find out why Boomer Katz has a boat parked into the in the harbor. And when he does that, our story flips back to Crime Alley, where there's even laughter in Crime Alley. Everyone who knows, if you're a Batman fan, knows Crime Alley is where his parents actually got shot down. So they head there, and I didn't get this part. I guess I missed it here.
That's a soup kitchen in Crime Alley.
Yeah, I mean, I got that's a soup kitchen in Crime Alley. I was trying to figure out where this $1,000 comes from. I guess they were going to give it to Boomer, and he's not there. So they just in turn give it to this lady.
As a tip.
As a tip or something, yeah. Because I was like, well, what the hell? I mean, so that's the only thing I could think of is they're looking for Boomer. And because they can't find him, they just give this lady an envelope with $1,000 in it. She's like, oh, Merry Christmas.
Well, I don't want to tell you what she's used to having to do for $1,000.
Exactly. It's more than by the minute.
Mm-hmm.
And so then our story flashes forwards and we see Batman or Bruce Wayne is actually in his, this would be Matches Malone, right? His Matches persona.
Yep.
And so he's getting out of his Matches Malone persona and changing back into the Batman is he's going after Boomer now. And he has found out that Boomer is actually on working as Santa Claus at the Santa Land at they say the name of the grocery, but not the grocery store, the department store.
Oh, Lee's department store.
Lee's department store. So he heads off to find out, and he's upset because apparently sometime in the past, Batman and Boomer have run into each other, and he had thought that Boomer had gone straight. So he heads off to find out what
he was talking about the Wolverine book, and when he got it, way back in the day down in New Orleans, and he said it's $2,200 in 2020 money.
Probably. Oh God! So he goes and Batman heads off towards Lee's department store, and Boomer is actually leaving the end of his shift, and Mr. Lee, I guess, or the manager comes over to talk to him and tells him that he's the best Santa Claus that he's ever had, and he actually starts crying up. And then when he gets outside, apparently there's some thugs there that are wanting to talk to Boomer, and they want to make sure that he disabled the alarm system for the store. Yep. So it's an inside job with Santa at the helm. However, Boomer tells him he just couldn't bring himself to do it. Everybody was so nice, and it felt good being good and not doing anything wrong that he didn't. So they get pissed off at Boomer and pull guns on him, and they're going to force their way into the back of the damn department store on Christmas. So they have Santa at gunpoint, and they make him open the door. And, of course, they open the door because, hey, he just left. Did he forget something? Yeah. And then when
the receipts on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, that's what the guy says. Yeah, because he pushes him in. Yeah, we're going to get the receipts and get out of here. And Boomer is letting them know they're forcing me to do this. I didn't want to do it. And this is where they get mad, and they actually kill Boomer, or they shoot him. They may not kill him here.
Yeah, they shoot him. They don't kill him.
Yeah, they shoot him. Okay. And Batman, who is just now getting to Lee's department store, hears the gunshot and rushes in. Of course, he goes right through the damn windows, knocks over the elf on the shelf, and and grabs a dang tree and lays this guy out with it.
Yep. Those fake tree bases are heavy.
Yes, they are. And so he lays him out, and the other guy, there's Boomer, manages to grab Boomer again and forces his way outside. And they're hiding from Batman. And the police are outside now at this point because they've come. I guess the alarm's gone off and or something, but the cops are there. So they're all waiting for the police to leave. And Batman can't find out where everybody is. So they're looking around, trying to find out where Boomer is and where the other guy is who's going to kill him. And all of a sudden, there's a light that comes through the missing star, or the star comes back for a minute, however you want to say that. And it manages to shine a light across the road so that Batman can see where Boomer is. And when he does, he lashes out and manages to save the repentant criminal.
And it even ends up with a Bible verse too.
Yep, from Luke 1. What is it again? I read it this morning. Yeah, to give light to them that sit in darkness and the shadow of death, and guide our feet into the way of peace. Luke 1:78. Yeah. Yeah, because Boomer just gets shot in the shoulder there, and Batman tells him, go home.
Go home. Don't go to the hospital. Just go home.
Yeah, you'll be all right.
It's just a flesh wound.
This really is a small story, but it is. I mean, I guess he did so well on this that they just decided to give him, hey, whatever you want to do next, man. So shortly after this,
he went back and forth between DC and Marvel for years, but every time he would like flip flop back and forth, but not like right away. He would stay like years and years at a publisher and then go back to the other one.
Mm-hmm.
And he went to, obviously he went to Marvel to do Daredevil. So
yeah. Well, he did Daredevil before this, right? Because this is wasn't this 81? So he did Daredevil before this.
Well, this book came out in 1980.
80. So this is actually after his Daredevil run.
Yeah, after his first Daredevil run.
Yeah, his first Daredevil run. It may actually be kind of in the middle of the later part of his Daredevil run, and then he does go back to Daredevil and at Marvel, and they do Born Again with Mazzucchelli, and then he brings Mazzucchelli back over to DC, and they do Batman Year One, which is something we've just not touched on because it's a. If you haven't read Batman Year One, you need to read Batman Year One. The Gotham City Council would never
let there be a nativity scene.
City property. Yeah, possibly.
And all the woke people at DC would never let him put a Bible verse in a book.
No. There's actually in our next book too, I think there was a Bible verse, if I remember right. I read it this morning before I went to work.
I just finished reading that one not too long ago. I read it in like spurts and was going back and forth, and my game online kept calling to me. So
well, the thing that's funny, I picked these two books out at random, and I did it because I just remember the whole Santa Claus thing, and they are probably arguably at this point in comic books the two biggest superheroes in comic books. I mean, we're talking Batman and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Boomer's butler would fix him up. Boomer's probably got to go back to the Salvation Army and going to be like, where the hell's my $1,000? What do you mean you gave it to some hooker?
Well, it came with mashed potatoes. We couldn't say no.
It came with mashed potatoes and gravy.
And gravy. Oh, yeah.
I love this cover. But, dude, this run of probably from like 90.
Yeah, it is.
Very cool cover. Very cool story. From like 90 to about 120 or something on Peter Parker is just like my favorite time of Spider-Man. I mean, this is just so good. I mean, check out this badass Santa smoking a beer with a gun.
Smoking a beer.
Smoking a cigarette, damn it.
What have you been smoking?
I'm telling you, it was a rough day at work, man. Yeah, you better watch out. Oh,
exactly.
talking about our black suit. This is a black suit Spider-Man story, people.
Yep.
Did you check who the writer was on this one?
Yes, and I still have mine open because they're let's see, I can't remember what page it is, but the page where they start doing the Christmas poem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to read that. So I kept mine open.
All right.
So they put all the credits on the very last page, which leaves us with like a big cliffhanger.
It does. It makes you want to read the next book like right now.
Yeah, I'm like, but I'll put that aside. So here's the credits for this issue of PPSM. Is Stanley presents the poem I'm going to read, a poem by J. Morris Jones on Christmas Day, written by Peter David, Mark Beecham on pencils, Pat Redding on inks, Rick Parker on lettering, Yamtoth and Rossos on coloring, Donner and Blitzen, creative consultants, Jim Owsley is the editor, and Jim Shooter, editor-in-chief. And a very Merry Christmas from the mighty Marvel bullpen.
See, That's what I'm talking about. They don't do that kind of stuff anymore.
Nope.
Not at all.
And it's a shame because that was the some of the best stuff that they did.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, I'm laughing so hard, I'm like crying over here.
Dang it. So this one starts out, as you see, this is a black suit Spider-Man story. So this is 86, it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And he says we've got their little poem at the top. On Christmas Day, the snow lay soft and white. And so you're always so kind to me. When Christmas Day comes around, I often wonder how you come. You never make a sound. And this guy's running past this crowd of people and snatches this lady's wrapped present and hauls butt. And then he's, of course, oh my God, is there a model convention in town? As he knocks all these super attractive these women over, and he hauls ass towards an alley. He's like, there's no way they're going to catch me now. And he runs smack dab into Spider-Man's web. Yep. Smack dab in the middle of it. And then there's Spider-Man. He's like, yup, what do you mean? That's like custom webbing, dude. And then
it's the holidays. There's red and green glitter in it.
I mean, something. And then he goes to tell Spider-Man, like, don't you ever let anybody go? And he's like, yeah, no, not really. And the guy's trying to explain how he says he's trying to get presents, and his mom's dying. She's got like cancer in her clavicle or something like that. Yeah, her clavicle's inoperable, and the bills are piling up. And Spider-Man's like, oh my God, really?
And one, this guy's an idiot.
Yeah.
A clavicle is a bone, not a tissue mass that you can actually get cancer in.
Yeah, it's like, and not only that, the clavicle's like right here. I mean, you can fix it. It's not terrible. It's like, give me a break. Don't you ever give anybody a break? And he's like,
I'm surprised he didn't say, but my mom, she's got stage 4 testicular cancer.
Just something. So here come the cops, and the lady who just got purse robbed. They're like, oh, I think he went down this way. So they head down the alley, and of course Spider-Man hightails it out of there, and they find him, and the lady is listening to him, and the guy starts to give her the sob story about the whole clavicle and everything else, and then he's calling her damn saint, and he shakes her hand and everything else, and pilfers her watch and runs away while the cop's like, oh my God, this lady's an idiot. And he hauls ass.
Nothing like a blonde stereotype, eh?
Yeah. He laughed. The cop's just like smirking in the last panel. And what's funny about this book is there's actually a good bit of humor in here, but it's also a lot of it. There's a lot of parts in it that are kind of depressing, because it's like, damn, this is Peter Parker. This is the real Spider-Man that they don't show you on TV.
Oh yeah, his whole life is like falling to shit, and he's not with MJ, but MJ's still around, and what had happened to his apartment? Did it just catch fire, or was it like Norman pumpkin bombing his place?
I think it just caught fire. I think some supervillains or something had managed to actually get it caught on fire. And that was over in Amazing later on. The little blurbs tell you where it was in Amazing.
Yeah, because editorial used to actually do that. Link a book that you needed to read in case you don't know where this reference is coming from.
Yeah, because they do. Later on, when we get to it, you'll see point blank, he says, his old Spidey suit. The reason he's even wearing the black Spidey suit now is because his old Spidey suit stinks so bad from smoke that he can't wear it because it's giving him damn headaches. So
and they talk about that, and I think it was like issue like 373 or something.
no, 273.
Oh, 273. Yeah.
Yeah, 373 is much later. So Peter Parker has no money. He manages to just stop this street thug crime, get away, and he's like, maybe something's going on at the Bugle, and I can get some damn money. So he heads to the Bugle, and when he gets there, of course, I can't remember who this chick is, but she catches him underneath the mistletoe and lays a big one on him, and he's like, "Oh, okay, well, this is not bad," but he said, "I still got to see about getting some work." And of course, the newspaper editor's like, "Great, you're here, and I don't have anything for you. Why can't you ever show up when I need something?"
Yeah, when I need you, you're never here, and when I don't need you, you won't go away.
And this shows how old this book is. For people who don't know, I actually used to have to carry one of these at one of my former jobs. She tells Peter Parker to get a damn beeper.
You used to be a drug dealer?
No, not a drug dealer.
Oh,
I was
okay.
a manager, and I had to have the beeper so that when somebody, never showed up to work, they could beat me, and then I'd have to call the store and find out what the hell was going on.
And then go there and cover their shift after you just finished the 12-hour. Yeah.
Exactly. I hated a beeper. So
F retail.
Yeah, in retail I did. So he's like, "Oh God, kid, I see me fighting Doc Ock." And he's like, "Oh, it's my beeper, Doc. I gotta go."
Oh, sure, I understand that. Us doctors got to stick together.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah, I have a beeper too. He tells the lady, "I'll think about it." So he gets upset. He leaves her and he goes to a phone booth or goes to the phone and calls Aunt May, who's actually cooking, getting ready for Christmas dinner. So Pat says he remembers a kid, Toy Biz sold a Spider-Man mobile. I'm like, not only could Peter afford a mobile, but where would he park it? Yep.
Oh, you mean the spider buggy?
Yeah, the spider buggy that drove on the wall that he had for like 3 issues.
Yeah, it like appeared in one issue and then disappeared. I'm like, he was living in New York. That thing was, stripped for parts and underneath the Lincoln Bridge at some point.
Exactly. Yeah, and that was in like 180 or 190 or something.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a good bit before this, but yeah, what could he ever do with it?
The only good thing that spider buggy did was made it so back in the 70s, Mego actually made a toy of that, so Spider-Man had a car to drive around in.
Is that like the was it Mego that made the damn Thor motorcycle, the little Thor scooter? I've thought about buying one of those just to have it because it's so pitiful. Like Thor would need a scooter.
Mm-hmm.
His Asgardian scooter.
Well, maybe Lady Thor there, Jane Foster, would use it.
Maybe. Oh God. Yes, it would be. So
Peter calls Aunt May and they're chit-chatting back and forth, and Peter goes to answer like all her inquiries, and then a pot on the stove starts boiling over. So Aunt May puts the phone down and goes, rushes to the stove to take care of stuff, and Peter rambles on for like 5 minutes, and she picks it up just from to say, "Yeah, bye." Yeah. And
so they completely miss everything.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh God, he didn't even give me a chance to invite him over for dinner." Because that's the whole thing here. This issue, Spider-Man, Peter Parker is trying to find something to do for Christmas Day because he doesn't want to be alone. He's lonely. And, the Bugle has nothing for him. And now Aunt May apparently has nothing for him. So
And this page is very reminiscent of any time that any of us would have called our grandmothers.
Yeah. Yeah, something would have happened, and there would have been miscommunication, and we would have missed it. So he goes and he chases after Robbie, who's now the assistant editor, and he's trying to get Robbie to give him some work. And of course, while he's trying to do that, Karen, the actual Peter's editor, I guess, comes up and telling Robbie to get Jonah to back off her ass and leave her alone, and because he wants pictures of Spider-Man or some crap. And this is when they're going to do the multiple magazines.
Yeah, this is when Jonah was stepping down as editor-in-chief of the Bugle to run Now magazine.
Yep. He's going to run a different magazine in the same building. And so he's giving Karen this, and then he turns around. He's going to invite Peter to his house to see his son, because they haven't talked in a while. And hey, let's get over, have Christmas together. But when he turns around, Peter's already gone. He's swung off as Spider-Man. He's like, where did he go? I was going to invite him over for Christmas dinner.
So he's missing all these good invites for Grub, and nothing good's happening.
Yeah.
Then we come across this odd part of the story where this kid's father, who comes across as a big sleazeball, the child's teacher, he's like, the kid's coming to school with like a huge black eye.
Yeah.
He's like, so how'd you get that? I fell down the stairs. My ass, you fell down the stairs.
Yeah.
So the teacher's taking legal action against the father, but so far nothing's happening. So, and the father basically threatens him at the end of this page.
Yeah, and tells him, either you do that, or I'm going to say that, you're a little too interested in my son. You know how rumors can fly. And then here's the page the reference we were talking about earlier. He says, reminds me, I better get another stab of getting the soot out of my blue and red costume. The last time I thought the smell would kill me. Boy, I wish I could use those. Or he's talking about the school kids down here, and he doesn't realize these kids have problems. But whatever happened to his suit, the suit was in Spider-Man 273, ASM 273. So flash forward, we leave Spider-Man and we go to the, I guess, Macy's department store, whatever giant department store. Yeah, it's Macy's right there. Attention Macy's shoppers, last chance to. Did you read all of the 80s name drops on this page? Did you catch them all?
Oh, yeah, it was great.
I'm like, holy crap. We know when this was written, So we'll go through them right quick. We got time. So Santa up here is like, this kid's like, and I want an Optimus Prime. Okay.
That was probably Ryan.
That's Ryan. Yeah, he wants an Optimus Prime. This kid is talking to this other Santa Claus. He says, oh, and a Raiders of the Lost Ark video tape to play on my mom's new VCR. And for long-time readers of Spider-Man, Mom and her roommates, Cindy and Randy and Bambi, it's a neat little one, but Cindy, Randy, and Bambi are the three girls that live across from Peter Parker. They're the ones that were always nude sunbathing on the damn roof of the building and kept him from getting in the skylight. And were always flirting on with him. So he tells Santa that he wants that to go with the new VCR, and Santa's like, so remind old Santa what your address is. And so now down here we got a little kid asking for a stinkor. That's from He-Man, right?
Yep.
That's what I thought. And then here's Jordan, who's like, oh, here, come here. And then this is his mom. Yeah, that's your mother, Jordy? He said, her name is Bambi. I was visiting her for Christmas. This is, it may be a drop-off just for this issue, because I don't remember her ever having a kid other than in this issue.
Yeah, I think she only gets to see him like at the holidays.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
I wonder what somebody named Bambi does for a living.
all right now. so so he
But bump.
leaves, and Jordan's like, "Oh, remember all the stuff?" And Santa's like, "Bye, don't worry, I won't forget a thing." And he's writing the damn kid's address down in his little address book.
Mm-hmm.
And then now it flashes back. Meanwhile, back at Peter Parker's apartment, he's working on his fighting skills with with one of them
Ball
little
paddles.
balls. Yeah.
Whack, 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 snap.
Yep.
Ow.
And then now he talks about how his damn his apartment is trashed. It's the garbage.
You know, and there's junk everywhere, and the whole place got burnt out. But just explain to me how the spool, how an industrial wire spool got into his apartment.
Oh, dude, people use them for tables all the time.
Yeah, I know, but he's got like some kind of furniture around, and it's just like they're like, well, I'll just draw this.
So he's still being ultra depressed. So he's like, "Hey, I'll call Harry, because me and Harry are good buddies from school, and his wife, maybe they're doing something for Christmas, and he's got the baby." So they call, and of course the baby is just making all kind of damn noise.
What do they say? The baby's got colic.
Yeah, the baby's got colic. So the baby's screaming and hollering, and Pete hangs up. He says, "I'll call you back when the baby's better," much later, like when he's in college.
Mm-hmm. Liz is off getting an aspirin, leaves Harry with the baby.
Yep.
Can't hear anything. It was a worse conversation than without me.
So he's still going deeper and deeper into the to the depths of depression here, and he's thinking about MJ and how she said she doesn't want to get married and apparently doesn't want kids at this point. So he's like, "I don't want to be alone tonight." Well, nobody wants to be alone at night, Peter. So he decides to call MJ, who is taking a bath, apparently for the third time.
Well, not for nothing. Women in shower wands. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. So he calls and doesn't leave a message.
Mm-hmm.
That baby grow up to be. Is that baby growed up?
Norman's baby? I
Yeah.
think so. Yeah, be like a college kid or something by now.
No, Harry's baby.
Harry's baby, whatever.
Well, you got to think. I mean, how old is? Yeah, exactly. How old is?
Nice backpack. Yeah, I know.
How old is Franklin Richards? He's like 18 now, and he was born in the early 70s,
Mm-hmm.
early mid 70s, whatever.
Comic books are really bad at math.
Yeah. Here's one for you that if you really were good. So you flash forward, and she's like, "Oh God, they didn't leave a message. I guess they didn't want to talk to me." And Mary Jane, who's washing her hair, like I said, for the third time, is going to go to Aunt May's tomorrow to meet her aunt. And Peter's supposed to be there too because Aunt May's going to invite Peter. And she's going, "I hope she doesn't forget it." And be like the first time they're introduced, and they refer to See Marvel Tales 182,
Mm-hmm.
which longtime readers know Marvel Tales was the reprint book. So that was still going on, being printed at the same time as this story was, and they reference back to a reprint book because the first time they do meet is, God, it's like in 48 or something. It's like really early.
Oh yeah.
So she takes her bath and gets out. And, of course, she's got to have 2 towels. All women have to have 2 towels, one for their head, one for their body. And she goes to dry off. And meanwhile, Peter, who's still here,
taking selfies.
Yes, before selfies. He's taking selfies with a regular camera. Click, click. And his phone rings, and he goes to pick it up, but nobody says anything. And
it's Kitty Cat.
They hang up. Yeah, it is Felicia. And she's like, Merry Christmas, Spider-Man. I wish we could always be together, but we can't. And so she strips and puts her black cat costume on and goes on the prowl again.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, she's fine as all get out.
Oh yeah. They reference in the center panel when she figured out that her bad luck powers were putting Peter in danger.
Yeah, Peter Parker 100. And so she heads out. And I mean, this is all just beautiful artwork, man. I mean, and this is such, I know we talk about the house style and everything, but this is such good work. So she goes out and she stumbles upon these 2 guys that are robbing a damn fur store.
Yeah, a mink fur store. So all they have is mink coats.
Yeah. And
that's going to be Upper West Side.
Upper West Side. And I never could figure exactly out how her bad luck powers work, but here's a good example of them. So she lays into this one guy, and this guy's going to come up and stab her, and she's like, you can't sneak up on somebody who has bad luck powers. And he falls, trips, and knocks himself out.
Oh, he trips and falls over a mink coat he was trying to steal.
Yeah, and
not just that, but on the prior page, they're like, "Oh no, it's Black Widow."
Oh yeah, that really hurts.
and then she just
kicks the crap out of him.
Lays that wide angle kick across his face, so he's out cold,
Oh yeah. So she with them all beat up, the cops are on their way because she can hear the alarm. She takes the mink coat. She's like, what? Might as well take them anyway. The insurance will pay for them. And she hauls off, and then we get this beautiful scene here in the middle that oh my God. Oh. And so she heads off and runs into some bag ladies and gives the damn mink coats to 2 bag ladies because they're cold.
She don't need them.
No, she doesn't need them. She's got plenty of money.
Unbeknownst, a day later, these 2 bag ladies are doing hard time in Leavenworth for stolen mink coats.
Yeah, receiving stolen merchandise, or they're killed for their mink coats.
Yeah.
So she swings off after that, and then the story goes back to Peter Parker, who is now has jack and crap in his refrigerator to eat. He's got 2 Cokes, and he pours 1 Coke for himself.
Wait, you missed the important part.
What part?
Real Coke, not that new crap.
Oh, yeah. He shows you where the book is written. Yeah, I've got 2 cans of classic Coke left, not the new stuff. The worst marketing gimmick of all time, new Coke.
Mm-hmm.
So he pours him 2 Cokes, 1 for him and 1 for the black suit, which he starts talking to. He's like, there was a time you were alive, but you're not anymore.
He's just going out of his head, and we're just laughing our cojones off, going through this book because it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, it's funny. So then it goes. So now we leave Peter, who's I'll drink it up. It'll start to get warm. And here's it flips back to Jerry, who's getting a phone call from his son, who's at the airport.
That's Robbie.
Robbie, yeah, not Jerry. Robbie Robinson, who's getting a phone call from his son, who's stuck at the airport because apparently his airplane is, stranded or something. But, his dad's like, it's not really stranded. I've already checked on that. And you're fibbing. And so somebody says, well, why are you going to lie to him? And then we find out that Robbie's son has married a white woman.
Oh!
Yep. And he's afraid to take her home to see his dad because he doesn't know if his dad will understand that he's fallen in love with a white woman and married her. There's a lot in this book that I didn't realize was here because it's been a long time since I've read it. On TV, yes, they would.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And you can still hang out with those friends on Disney Plus.
Yes, you can. So
we're going through this book, and all I can think about, new Mandalorian episode in the morning for breakfast.
Is that what it is? Dang it. This shows you how bad Peter really is right here. This top panel in here.
Mm-hmm.
We'll blow it up for Pat, since he's the only one that seems to be here. There's our hero sleeping with a teddy bear, a gag gift from MJ to keep him from harm.
Oh yeah, this is the poem I wanted to read.
This is the poem?
Yeah, and next door to Peter, 'twas equally still, though a window now open had let in a chill. Dear Randy and Candy both snoozed in their beds, while visions of Tom Selleck danced through their heads. But Bambi was restless and went through the door, served only to waken our heroine more. And then from the living room, she heard a noise and figured that Jordan was up opening toys. Then we get a nice booty leg warmer shot from Bambi. My son couldn't wait, was Bambi's surmise. But when Bambi walked out, she stopped in short. Surprise! I must be dreaming.
Yep, because Santa's stealing every damn thing you own.
And and then there's the big altercation, and she's like scared up against the wall, looking sideways because Bad Santa Volume 1 has appeared in her house, thanks to her kid giving up the address.
Yep.
And she's yelling to wake up, and then from next door, Peter's spider sense goes completely insane, and he hurries up into his costume, crashes through the window, and webs the gun, starts a fight with Spider-Man. You promised me a bike 15 years ago, and you welched, you creep.
Yeah.
You heard me? Where's my Schwinn? And all the younger viewers would be like, what's a Schwinn? That was a bicycle that was popular when we were kids. Because
was a really nice bike.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, what the hell's going on? Here comes Jordan. He comes out of the room. He's like, Santa, what's going on? Why is Spider-Man here? And they're wondering what's going on. And of course, Jordan lets Santa in because he thought he had toys.
Yeah, it's like, Spider-Man, mom.
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Spider-Man, where? What's happening?
And there's all of his neighbors that, like I said, like to nude sunbathe. So they're just Santa hauls ass. Spider-Man can't really web them because all the girls are in the way, and they're going yuck, yuck, yuck. So he hauls ass and runs into his landlady, who's screaming at him because I've caught you hanging around the building before.
It's like, I love it. How many tenants get to toss their landlords around and get away with it?
Yeah. Damn it.
And he's chasing down the Santa, and
so Santa throws all the stuff he just sold at Spider-Man, trying to get away.
Mm-hmm.
And he makes it to the top of the stairs, the roof of the building to slam the door shut. And there's a dude in a red suit up there who says, "Last year it was slasher films. Now it's this." I'm not laughing. And when Spider-Man gets up there, all the footprints stop, and he's gone.
And then he goes back to bed, and then his phone rings Christmas morning with an assignment from the new editor-in-chief.
Yeah, Catherine.
Catherine.
Yeah, Catherine.
Karen's what you call the white women that come in and I want to speak to the manager. You've seen that.
Yes, I have. So she sends Catherine sends Pete down to the where's it at? She sends him somewhere, and there's a Santa Claus down there who's giving away all these presents and ho ho merry children and everything else, and
it's the thief Santa Claus.
It's the thief Santa Claus, and he's turned all the stolen merchandise into the police, but he's giving away all of these handmade wooden toys, stuffed animals, and the cops are like, well, we don't know where the hell he got them from, but they're all beautiful. It's the darndest thing I've ever seen, and he can give all this stuff away because we don't know where he got it from. So Peter goes to talk to him. And he says, I know you're suspicious, but I've changed. And, here's proof. And I got something for you too, Peter. So he gives him a note. And Peter opens it up, and it's call Aunt May. So he calls Aunt May, who then invites Peter over. And he gets to spend the rest of Christmas with MJ, Aunt May, and Miss Watson. I can't remember her name. Anna Watson. Yeah, that's it. And while they're having the dinner, of course, MJ looks like she's giving him a little smooch there. And then outside, yeah, I'm telling you. Outside, there's like somebody's watching the house. And,
yeah, I thought it was one person, but it turns out there's two.
It's two. And they've got a knife, and they're like, just hold off. He won't get away.
It's a knife, but the way he drew it, it looks like a garden trowel
or something. Yeah, big ass knife, and literally that's the end.
Ta-da!
But dude, Peter David wrote some of the best Spider-Man stuff, and he still is. I mean, I'm still reading the Peter David Spider-Man stuff that comes out now. It's supposedly not in continuity, but it's great. I love Peter David. A mongoose bite for me. Mm-hmm. I think I had a mongoose bite because they were the big dirt bites.
The mongoose was actually the neck on the front.
Was it? Okay. Mm-hmm. Which one's the big dirt bite I'm thinking of then? I can't remember. But yeah, man, this was a good. They were both good, fun reads, and they were different. I mean, the Batman story is so much more contained because it all takes place in like an hour maybe, and the Spider-Man story, of course, takes place over like 2 days. Mm-hmm. And the thing is it's like they just try and hit everything that makes Peter Parker who he is. That whole never having enough money, always wondering where the bills are going to be from, always worrying about Aunt May, terrible damn luck, and that's, I know me and you probably have talked about it before. That's one of the things that gets me, when Peter married MJ later on, it was like, finally his luck turned around, and then they wiped it all out because I want the love triangle, damn it, give Peter a break, he finally, something's working out for him.
Mm-hmm. Pat, thank you very much. The zoom in and the poem should make this year's Boomer highlight reel.
The zoom in. Yeah.
So we're gonna take off next week.
Yep.
Because of Christmas, but the week after. And I had brought this book up because I had found it while I was going through stuff. I found a fill-in issue of Swamp Thing, and since he just passed, um, I thought we would take a look at that. I'll have to look up the information on it for what volume of Swamp Thing it was.
Yeah.
But Richard Corbin actually filled in, did the cover and all the interior art on Swamp Thing 20. Two hats together for Ben. It's Rockhead.
Damn it.
So I figure in 2 weeks we'll check out that Richard Corbin thing, and of course, rest in peace, Jeremy Bulloch, the original Boba Fett from the 70s. The actor passed away today.
Yeah, he was like 75.
Mm-hmm. He was ill up until like a few years ago. He was still doing appearances. So somewhere I've actually got an autograph from him. My buddy John and his girlfriend Sue were at a convention quite a few years ago, and before they were charging like $100 to scribble their initials on something. And he had picked me up a Jeremy Bulloch autograph at a convention for like my birthday, Christmas combined. You know when your birthday's so close to Christmas, you either get one card or you get one present. Yeah, that's me.
Yep. My brother's the same way. His birthday's the 22nd.
So we'll be back in a couple of weeks with a new episode of Boomer, where we'll take a look at Swamp Thing issue 20 with guest artist, the late great Richard Corbin.
Yep.
Oh yeah, wonderful artist and very stylistic, and just some great stuff. So until next time, Pat, thanks for hanging out with us all night and having some laughs. Are we doing the show on New Year's Eve or the day before?
I have to look at my schedule.
It all depends on Thomas's schedule. I'm freed up. I'm trying to get a couple people together for another episode of Creators Outlet, either tomorrow or next Monday. So I'm going to try to get some episodes of Creators Outlet going, and but I've only got tomorrow, Monday, and Tuesday, and then that's going to be done for like another week because Christmas and New Year's and everything, and it'll start back up the first of the year, and we got more stuff coming. There's plenty of books to go.
Oh yeah.
So Swamp Thing 20 in 2 weeks.
All right.
Until then, peace, love, and read some comic books, and